There we go. It's there somewhere. What's up, YouTube?
There it is.
La 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 la. We're all out of rhythm now.
What's up, everybody?
How's it
We're
going?
given rhythm.
Did we get all the lights and everything? I didn't even check.
We are
I think we're
Yeah, we
set.
did.
we are illuminated.
We are live. I'm
Illuminated.
trying to pull up all the
Oh, frick.
information.
Jake doesn't have a can this week, so that was my job, and I just opened it. Dang.
Don't worry,
I'll
boys.
take it.
Rip.
I'm good. I'm ready. No pressure.
Skadoosh.
I brought me a little caffeine, little mix,
It's
little
like the
energy drink
smallest
thing.
like little cup ever.
Oh, these are pretty decent.
Oh yeah. No, you can. Yeah,
This is my
you
first
can have a good
trying
time on those.
Oh, I should turn this.
Well, I
logo
was
around.
just
Brent, what's
saying
up?
because like normally like
Couch
I
racer.
have like a thing against hard teas because I just think twisted tea is just trash.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
this is like way better than twisted tea.
Oh yeah. No,
Way
all
better.
their flavors are good. They have a regular. sweet
Appreciate
tea.
you, Brent. We
Where'd
might
you get
need
this?
What
it.
is
It was a
This
long
is an
night
Aldi
for some of
brand?
them.
Yeah.
For some of us.
Oh, bro.
that? Oh yeah.
dude. 12
Oh,
pack,
yeah.
$10. It's
What are
it's
those
a
other
deal.
ones you get?
Aldi.
I know, but the like that tall cans.
Yeah.
Like
We're
how
just
much are
kind of
those?
wait. Well, actually, I'll go ahead and
12
get the poll
Oh.
set up.
They're
I mean,
half the price
This should
of
be a
any
pretty
other
easy
salt
For like
poll.
the
Like
six
that.
pack.
For a 12 pack.
Oh, bro.
Like $1.
There's
It
only
ain't
one
bad,
option.
dude. It's a good deal.
They're really is.
Oh man.
I need to make it.
That's
was-
all
it
I
was
worried
wild.
about this week,
We pulled up about 5:30 this morning.
dude. The only thing that saved me was Metallica.
I mean, I say
Yeah.
that, but it's not like I
Metallica
haven't
saved my
done
life.
that before. So
I could tell James Metallica
We could
saved
be
my
in the
life.
movie. Yeah. Nah, it was it wasn't bad though. Traffic was good.
What time did you
Everything
get
was-
there?
It was an easy ride. We got there at 2
At, like,
o'clock.
No, it was like
Dang.
2:33.
It was like 2:30.
Yeah, it
Right,
was right when
right
credentials open.
Yeah.
did you guys
Yep.
catch the Arca?
No,
We didn't watch Arca or Trucks. I'm gonna watch Trucks tonight. I haven't watched it yet.
well, that kind of defeats the purpose of the podcast.
Sorry.
It's okay, I didn't watch it either. It's been a busy day.
We were kind of busy.
Yeah.
we
been
had this plan. We're like, oh yeah, we're gonna like say we're not gonna watch notification. We're gonna watch the truck race on the way home, and yeah,
That didn't work. That did not work.
fell asleep behind the wheel listening to.
If you're
another
watching,
podcast.
drop what you thought of the race in the chat. Let us know.
You got it up?
Yep. The poll is, or the voting has started.
Oh yeah, I voted.
Are we live?
Jake,
No,
why'd
we're
you,
not
why'd you
recording.
do Black Flag?
How'd you know?
I hate pirates.
Arr.
Yarg.
Yarg. All right, you guys ready to actually go ahead and start this thing?
I think we're right. Close enough to 6:30, right?
We're 2 minutes.
Quick question before we actually like do this. Can we say the term chase sexuals? Is that okay?
I mean, technically, yes, because
Okay, I
it's
just wanna make
not
sure.
an actual word.
They were out and
I'm
about.
pretty sure it's a real word.
I mean, it's ish. It's ish.
Ish, 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 ish.
Ish, ish. All right, let me know. Are you guys ready for us to start this thing?
What about the comment I made last night on the way home?
I don't know if I want to know what it is.
It's like chase sexuals rejoice. You can get back to licking each other.
Oh, jeez.
It was so outlandish. I was like, well, that's
Wow.
perfect.
I was trying to keep you awake.
How's it going, JFB? All
As
right.
you driving?
Wow.
I was like, man, you see all the Chase fans cheering and jumping and screaming and licking each other?
Jeez Louise, bro.
That goes.
Oh,
Wow.
Pretty much.
It goes into later, but oh my gosh, the
got
crowd
some
was
good
awesome.
stories.
But yeah, it
Do you
was
still
fun.
own a Chase shirt, Jake?
Oh yeah, a couple.
It's that one right there. It's just next year's. Chase Elliott in the 77.
Ride the
Foreshadowing.
dente.
He
Foreshadowing.
just tried to start and he keeps moving his hand back like,
Let me tell another story. All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
ah, shit, too early.
Chase Elliott wins the race at Echo Park Speedway, also known as Atlanta Motor Speedway, and locks up his playoff spot. Some of the Here for the Speed crew was actually there at the race, and do we think this might have been the best race of the year? Let's find out, because we are here for the speed. What is up, everybody? My name is DJ. Glad to be with you guys. I'm joined by he's got another driver this week.
Oh yeah, I was gonna make a comment, but I get around town. Cars and Host Bar fan Jacob.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at the intro.
That was really
It's
funny.
just Jeff.
Man, I just want to apologize to our fans. I really jeffed that one up. But anyway, it's Matthew here, local Brad Keselowski fan.
I knew you always came too early. I'm sorry. I couldn't let it go.
So you're gonna finally bring it out of the closet. You Jeff that up.
Jeff that up.
Yeah, that's been an inside joke for me and Matt for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's been. I've been hearing that for like 5 years.
Your whole
at
life.
least.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
That's true.
Bro, you guys are the one that made it up.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that comes from
Well, I
back.
can't remember now.
Pretty sure that
Back-
comes
that's
from
way
back
back
in
in the
even the
day, bro.
Warzone days.
Oh man.
Jeff, don't push.
Yeah.
Yeek.
Anywho.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I already
So-
introduced myself.
Yeah,
Local
so-
Brad Keselowski fan.
Man.
What a day. Honestly, I'm
Exciting
okay
and
with it.
painful.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Bittersweet.
Bittersweet. I'm tired of going into Atlanta and watching him get second. That stings. That's like the second time I think I've seen him get second. 'Cause
At
he got-
Atlanta.
At Atlanta. Joey
That's like-
won the first.
Yep.
We were there for the Joey win.
And that was the one where he led, like, what was it, like 40 laps up until that point?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one at least was back and forth a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And now this one. But it was a bittersweet moment. We had the family there. It was pretty cool. So
Atlanta is the definition of blue balls for Keselowski fans. Bro, it's like
Tell me.
like just top 5 after top 5 after top 5. Just and even if it's not a top 5, he probably was running top 5 and got wrecked.
Mhm.
You know, but he's always like RFK, especially Brad. I think Brad knows how to do this really well because I was thinking about this on the way home last night. So me and Matt went. Just to clarify, I know DJ said some of us went. So me and Matt went. Y'all watched, not sure where or how. But
at my house.
okay.
At my respective house, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna make a
just
joke.
respectful house.
What?
Jeez.
I was thinking about the way home. I think Brad is really good at this because this is just like Gen 6 Cup Super Speedway racing before we went to next gen. So we went with the giant 8-inch spoiler and all the crazy stuff at the end of the Gen 6 era. This reminds me of that. So I think like this style of racing at Atlanta and what it does like feels really natural to like the veteran Cup guys.
Oh yeah.
Because you
Denny
see
loves it.
Logano does good. No, Denny just rides in the back the whole time. I don't get it.
He likes right in the back, man.
I mean, there's a lot of jokes there, but I don't like. It's not like the old days where you. I mean, I'm saying this race is like the old days, but this race isn't like the
Like
old
4
days where
years
you can
ago.
just ride in the back the whole time.
Way back when, 4 years ago.
Yeah,
You can't ride in the back at Atlanta like this.
I mean, he tried to ride in the back, first stage, gets
So-
up to the front. Like, yeah, I mean, what are you trying to do? Like, miss the wreck? So you get up and you cause the wreck? Like, I don't understand.
So from
Is
what
that clean air?
from what I was understanding, like they were talking on the broadcast, everybody hated their car's handling.
of course.
Everybody.
Brad loved it.
I forgot which car it was. Jeff, you might remember. There was one of them that they I think it was Briscoe. He started in like I forgot where it was, top 10 somewhere up, and he was dead last by the end of the first
No, yeah.
run. They literally had to pull off wheels. They were adjusting ride heights. I mean, they took a huge swing because he's like, look, it's awful. I don't
So
know what's going on.
You saw like an invert of the field, excluding the Penske cars.
Yeah.
And we heard Brad talk about this. He's like, I don't know what they have that they can qualify in the front and just almost pull away.
It's wild. I don't know.
I don't know what they had. I mean, thank God they all wrecked and we had a race out of this thing.
They almost pulled a Stuart Haas.
Dude, almost. It was almost a Stuart Haas Talladega.
Which I was like, at first I was really excited about because I literally was like, I saw the starting lineup and I'm like, yep, all Penske.
Yeah.
So I loaded up my entire roster was all Penske, and I think Priest and Brad or
mine
something.
was also half Penske and half RFK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I ended up okay, but
Yeah.
not
So
great.
to bolster your point, besides the Penske guys, you saw everybody in the top 20 fade backwards. Everybody in the back 20, they went forward because you could tell like they all set up for race speed, and the front 20 all set up for qualifying speed.
Right.
And like that first stage, you saw whoosh like a cross of a bunch of them. Not everybody, but a bunch of them. And then it seemed like once we get to that first pit stop, everybody can make adjustments. Like everything evened out a lot more.
yeah.
But I could see like different things, like the Hendrick guys. I was telling Matt, I was like, after like 10 laps,
They started
it's like
coming
everybody
in.
starts to wear in. But there was like 15 laps after that first 10. Like, bro, them Hendrick guys were just, I mean,
Oh,
untouchable
they were running.
fast.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't
they
think.
can make moves nobody else can.
William
make.
All
Byron
of
was
them, too.
looking insanely good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
could tell that.
insanely good.
So that's one of the ones he qualified way in the back, and I was telling Matt, I was like, bro, that 24 is flying to the front.
Yeah.
And throughout the whole day, Bowman was incredible.
Bowman
There
solid.
was like 10 laps ago. I was like, I think Bowman is gonna win this race.
That
Like,
would
he
have
was
been
just
wild.
making moves, but Brad and I think Busher ended up making a move together, and it kind of shucked the 48 back, and he ended up getting third.
You had to plan your runs. And
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
who said it? I think it was Bowman said it. He's like, yeah, we were leading, like, I think it was like 8 laps to go. And he's like, it was too early. We had to shuffle back and get our way back up there.
I don't know. I mean,
It was a shuffle. The
there
whole
was
game
almost
was a shuffle.
2 passes a lap for the lead.
Yeah, but it was usually between first and second. And then once
Yeah.
they got the lead, first would drop down to like 5th or 6th, then rebuild the run, get back up
if
there.
they
first
could
and-
pass on the outside.
Yes.
If you faded low, they went to block low, but then you duped them up to the highest. Bro, like, this was such a chess match. It was so crazy, bro.
It was
was
lap
insane.
for lap too, which is crazy. It's like, I don't know. At least the last like 20 laps, it just was like Brad 1 lap, Bowman another lap, Brad 1 lap, Bowman another. I don't know. It just
I
kind of
thought
seemed that
Reddick
way.
had a car. I thought
He
he
did
had
too.
a car.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
He kept showing up.
I
And
feel
then it
like
was like 20 to go, and he had a speeding penalty on that last pit
Yep.
stop. And I was like, yes, Reddick's out of it. Brad could do this. And then at
right.
the end of the race, it's like, no, somehow he's returned.
yeah, I would agree. Brent says a little bit slow start. Ford was dominating. I wouldn't even say Ford. It was Penske. Penske was just, I mean, they lined up 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 plus, what's the name? Wood Brothers. It was 1, 2, 3 Wood Brothers.
No, it was 1, 3, 4, and then technically Woods Brothers was
All
second.
right, sure, whatever.
Technically.
All four of them guys, and they just kind of clocked out and all worked together. And I think because nobody was trying to pass each other, that you didn't have any competition for the lead until about 40 so laps on the tires,
Yeah.
something like that, 35 laps maybe. And you saw guys like diving down, like making moves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So once they started making moves and started dragging people back, and that kind of created a bigger air wake, and everybody like all sucked up together.
I'm assuming some of it too may have been that they were preparing for a much warmer track. Just in their
Which
initial
is
setup.
odd because
you didn't
like,
have practice. You didn't have anything where people could kind of shake out. Oh man, the track's a lot different than we expected. And that was what they were saying in the broadcast. Like that could have been why the teams were saying our setups weren't even close.
But that's
Really?
It's
That's
so
wild.
weird to see.
Everyone was struggling.
It's so weird because it's like we knew, like at least a week in advance, like, hey, it's gonna rain. It's gonna be
I
a
don't- was it
cloudy,
because-
overcast day. Like, how do the teams not look at the radar and be like, oh, it doesn't look like it's gonna be a clear week? Like,
I don't. To be fair, I don't know if they knew that, but something was off with. I don't know if the simulators got it wrong or what. But everybody
they probably did.
They were going
because-
down on that when the rain was happening and all
Yeah.
the drivers were sitting in the car still. Dude, the broadcast was calling up everybody. They called Logano, Chase. I forgot who else they were called, but everyone. And like they were talking to Logano. They're like, man, we're listening. Everyone's struggling. He's like, well, that's good to hear because I feel like we suck today. And
Yeah.
he's out in the front like dominating
I
everybody.
actually got a question, Jake. Do you know if like iRacing or the Sims, do they account for each year's wear?
So iRacing, I don't think so. I think there's updates maybe every couple years
So,
depending on the
Atlanta
track.
has
But
been
the
a-
sim, the NASCAR
That one
team
probably does.
sims,
Yeah.
yeah, they probably are trying to figure out, and that's
They're
probably where
trying
the sim
to, but I
comes out of balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that would
or
be my
off
guess.
a little bit
that would
because
that
there's
would make
really
sense.
only like 3 sims: Chevy, Ford, Toyota.
Because this
Yeah.
track, I mean, we've seen it from day one of it being paid, that first race, to
Yeah.
today. It's drastically different. And if the Sims can't keep up with that, I mean, you're just
Yeah.
throwing
It's
throwing
even
darts with a
it's
blindfold
different from February to
Today?
June.
Yeah.
6 months,
And then next
next
February,
February
it's gonna be totally
it'll be even more wore out.
So I would agree with the drivers and the teams. Like, how do you plan for that?
Especially
I don't know
when there's
another
no-
track
there's
that's
no
wearing
practice.
as quick as this one either.
No, there's not.
This track is
Proprietary,
drastically
man.
different. Proprietary.
I know a lot of people. I mean, we've always been pretty high on the reconfiguration here at Atlanta, and we always liked it, even with the first one. But I think that it's just improved the racing every single time we're here. It's dramatically
Yeah.
improved
Yeah.
from the first time.
I think it's fantastic.
They're basically to old Atlanta now,
I'm-
almost there.
When
I'm
they first did the repave, they were pretty much full throttle. They were, I mean, they could lift a little bit after a little bit of wear, but they were pretty much full throttle super speedway package at Atlanta. And that's why they had to move pit road entry because it was too fast coming off the exit.
Yep.
Now, they openly said it last night during the broadcast. They're like, I don't think they touched full throttle that whole race. It was all off throttle time. So I mean, that just tells you the difference within what three, maybe 4 years.
Yeah, something like. Well, yeah, because the first race we went to was post-COVID, and that was still old Atlanta.
That was the last Atlanta race.
Well, you
Last
guys-
old Atlanta.
Yeah, you guys.
You
I didn't
weren't
go to
there.
that because I wasn't a fan of old Atlanta. So
You didn't go because you had a ticket.
why
you
did I
didn't-
not go?
You were having a kid.
You were having a baby.
Oh yeah, that
Like
happened.
2 weeks before,
Yeah.
or a week before.
It was really
ended up being
close.
like a week before,
Yeah.
because we bought the game. We're
Got
like,
the
let's just
NASCAR Heat.
and then so Atlanta was one of the races we could renew a ticket at. So we did early,
Yep.
way early, and then you ended up, deciding to have a kid.
Go.
COVID
Ruined the whole thing.
happened. Then we ended up having to wait a whole year to reuse that ticket.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, no, it was a whole.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
So really,
they
it
still
took us
honored it.
2 years from the start of us working on that project to us actually going to that race. It was
Yeah.
2 years.
That was the first Atlanta trip for everyone, right?
Yes.
That was your first time going?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. The
Cool.
last old Atlanta was the first one we did.
I love Atlanta. I'd go back every time if I could, but they run it right after Daytona.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like,
That's tough.
We really need a 2-week gap there.
That March date was perfect.
Ugh.
That mid-March, like the weather was nice. Everything about that was nice because this was our first time going to the midsummer race. Oh boy, that's hot.
It's
Oh.
okay.
You didn't think it was hot?
Well, yeah. No, I was reading the comments.
Oh,
sorry.
okay. I was like,
Oh, wait.
bro, you didn't. I'm like, bro, were we not dying?
Oh, no, it was hot.
Yeah, it was hot. But when the sun went down, it was nice.
That was perfect.
It was very nice. I was very comfortable. Actually, like once the sun went down, I never sweat the rest of the time.
Yeah, no.
It was good.
I left my hat and everything in the car.
Yeah.
So,
So we
So
want to rate
let's-
the race?
Yeah, let's do the rating real quick.
Birth certificate is crazy.
yeah.
What?
No.
What'd you say?
Yenny's on that.
Oh.
Matthew pulled a Denny subpoena the birth certificate.
Yeah, Yenny's on that lean or something. I don't know.
Didn't Logano win that race?
Yes.
Drove all the way to Atlanta to watch Logano. And he kind of dominated that race.
If I remember correctly, yeah.
And then wasn't it like Blaney? Somebody was coming with a run.
No. Larson had a run. Blaney was a lap down following Logano. Maybe he wasn't.
No,
a lap down.
no. Logano was dominating. Larson was coming.
Yes.
Blaney was a
blo-
lap down and
and
threw
blocked.
blocks and arrow blocked Larson from going for the win.
Yes. Yes. That it's maybe something like that.
Obnoxious.
Because I
All
remember
that-
the whole way out, Jake is just losing. Like, man, come all the way up here and watch this. And
Watch Logano win.
Logano, no talent, has to have his team do all the work for him and just going off
was
on
mad.
him. It's okay. Next year he'll have a Logano shirt.
Okay.
You might.
There's some things that are just
Merry
too far.
Christmas.
Some things are just too extreme.
Oh, anyway, so
yeah, we thought that was Denny Hamlin too. We said that.
Fair
we
enough.
did.
Fair enough.
All right, Matt, rate the race. We'll go around.
Checker. It was a great race.
Yep.
So, bias here. We went to the race. I know we've been talking about it, but we went to the race. It was hands down the second best race I've been to in person.
What's the first?
Bristol.
Oh,
Tiregate. That was a
Tiregate.
great
Yeah,
race.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because,
God,
and
that was a good one.
I told this to Megan, it was a complete surprise.
Yeah.
And we kind of knew what we were getting into going to Atlanta. We're like, listen, this is going to be like some kind of pack racing. There's going to be some good moves. You know, they're going to be able to get runs. It's going to be that super speedway package that we want. We just don't get it at a super speedway. So we kind of walked into this race knowing where we're going to be. Going to Bristol and seeing Tiregate where the tires were shredding in 20 laps.
Hitting you in the face.
That was the best surprise driving up to Bristol. Because I've been to Bristol where it's like a burner and you're just sitting there like, all right, 49 laps, 50 laps, 51. And we got 500 to go. Like it can be a drag. So no, I'd give this number 2 on my scale. This was a great race.
I think what complements that, the whole weekend was great.
It was a lot of fun.
That whole weekend was a blast. The track had a bunch of fun entertainment, which is part of the whole thing to me.
New friends.
If you're
going
gonna
to the
go
race.
there, yeah, bro.
Yep.
That is a big deal. You know what I mean? The at track experience absolutely can have a huge impact on your view of the race,
Oh, yeah.
which we're absolutely going to get into with Atlanta.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I wanted to ask
Yeah.
about that.
So
Jeff, rate.
Checkered. It was really good.
We've had
I
a
liked
lot.
it.
We've had a lot of checkers
It's-
recently,
Yeah, I mean,
but
Well,
if you, rate
Poconos.
it, if you rate it green, I just don't see what you can really improve on
the
too
rest,
much.
the rest of the field,
You know
maybe
what I mean?
like a
Like-
full field finishing.
Like, I feel like it.
No.
Yeah.
I'll get into that. I can argue that case.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to
No, I
play
feel you.
devil's
But I
advocate.
mean, just as far, I don't know. I feel like there's been, I don't see how you don't rate it a checkered. You know, that's
Yeah.
my opinion. But
Yep, checkered. It's same like Jeff said. Everything you could ever want in a super speedway. You had a big one. You had tons and tons of passing. I got the stat in here somewhere about
I
how
think it
much
was like
passing.
48 passes
It
for
was
the lead.
it was insane.
like it
No
was two
way.
less. So February
Has
had
to
more.
be like
46
triple.
46 lead changes among 13 drivers.
That's awesome.
There's no way.
I mean, that's the stat, bro.
I mean,
I mean,
that's from NASCAR.
are you telling me we were wrong?
That's got to be just at the start finish line.
Yes, yes.
Because
it
the
is.
amount of times, like, remember, like,
No,
yeah.
no,
Chase
it
would
is, it
pass
is.
into turn one, Keselowski would pass
You gotta
back.
think it's pylon scores.
Yeah. This would
That's
be
what I'm saying.
official
That-
scoring.
So this is where I want to go back and be like, use the scoring line for the passes for the lead, because that number makes it sound terrible
Yeah.
compared to what it was.
I mean,
it
I
was-
don't know. It still doesn't sound awful. It's just you
I
can
want
make
to
it
say
sound
February
more.
was up to 50, like 50 or 52. February technically had more passes for the lead.
Wow.
Maybe.
I think February, March, whatever the first
Yeah.
race of this was. this
Yeah,
year.
so I mean, like with all those things between the massive wreck, between you actually did have a little bit of attrition with like new tires and old tires, and like there was a little bit of everything in this race,
So
and you were on the edge of your seat the entire race.
did tires play that big of a role? Did they talk about that
A
on
little
TV? Because I really couldn't see that.
There
much.
was the last, I think it was the last stage. I don't remember who it was. For some reason, I don't keep wanting to say William Byron, but I don't think it was
He
Byron.
was not racing.
Byron was out.
Yeah, it was somebody else.
Bowman.
Had Bubba? Was it Bubba? I think it was
No, he
Bubba.
spun
No,
out.
he was the lap or two
before
down.
before he
Maybe
spun.
Stenhouse, because Stenhouse was moving.
There was somebody, Chad, if you remember, let me know who it was.
Stenhouse could
There
have
was-
been it because he did pit.
I
think
may
it was
have,
Stenhouse.
it
From
may
the
have been, and there was someone that they were like, they made a comment, they're like, he's got those new tires and he's flying, and I mean,
Want to say it was Stenhouse.
it was like 2 to 3 cars a lap he was picking off.
because he
Yeah.
like drove up to fifth, and we're like, "What are you doing?"
Chad's
Yeah.
saying Stenhouse. I think it was
Stenhouse,
Stenhouse
okay, it
because
might
he
have
was
been.
coming like a
So
bullet
so yeah,
traffic
For sure.
jam.
so tires did kind of matter here too. So I mean, again, a little
Yeah.
bit of everything.
It was good.
Black flag. No, no,
Hated?
of course.
Never
Get
want
out.
to go back.
Absolutely. I mean, I would love for anybody anywhere to show me anything that this race missed. I cannot believe the Jeff Gluck poll is down.
What is it?
It 91%.
That's insane.
Oh, geez.
I
It has to-
can't.
It
the
has to come
Logano
down to all the
fans?
race, all the big drivers wrecked.
It's that or people that just can't read and they press a random button.
Sometimes it could be bots.
Like,
I
I mean,
mean-
it could be. I mean, I don't know. It's that's just the craziest.
I
thing
mean,
to me.
91%.
So
still
I'm
pretty
gonna
high.
jump on the board with you. I think this is the greatest race I've ever been to,
Really?
bro. I mean, again, it
It was
ties
good.
to the weekend. We had a great time. The whole.
I mean, I'm
experience
rating
was
this
good.
over seeing Brad win at Talladega.
Same, bro.
This is
Ah,
over
okay.
that for me.
I'll
This was
give
a
it-
really good race.
It's for sure top 3 because Tiregate's absolutely in the conversation. But
Oh, it
number
has to
1
be.
is Junior winning 2014.
Oh, for you?
500.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you went
Yeah.
to that, I didn't
I
even
mean,
know
that was
you
awesome.
Yeah.
But this is definitely top 3. It was so good. It was so entertaining. So much fun.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, I wish I could have been there for that one.
Yeah.
But that was fun.
You want to get into the experience of it a little bit?
Yeah, let's do that.
First thing I want to say, well, so basically, quick synopsis. We all drove up. It was me, Matt, our wives, and my kids, my 2 boys. Drove up, watched the race, drove home, got here 5:30 in the morning. It's awesome. Almost a, 20
I was up for 24
2-hour
hours.
days?
I was up for 24 hours.
Yep.
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah, same.
I got up at 6 o'clock on Saturday morning, and I went to bed 6 o'clock Sunday morning.
Good run, man. Good
Long
run.
day. No naps.
So one thing I want to say, I want to get the negative out of the way, because I do have a couple gripes against SMI. Their infield amenities and infield stuff, like obviously the garage and everything is really nice. All that's fantastic. Pit road, garage. So we did have hot passes, which was awesome.
They're
And
all right there.
yeah. Well, this is our collection just from this year.
Oh, God.
Oh wow. Oh
good.
no! Hey, wait a minute. Oh
Nope, that's just
No.
this year.
wait, Homestead's up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did we go this year?
No,
Yep.
Jake
me
and
and
the
my
boys.
boys. did.
Oh, that's right. Y'all did. That's right.
So we went and the garage, everything nice, fantastic, clean. Everything's been repainted since Echo Park
Yeah, I wanted
rebranded
to,
the
how,
speedway.
how was that? Like, did everything look nice?
It was very clean.
Yeah.
It's
good.
very clean, very nice, except for all because when we get there, we show up to credentials. We walk through turn 3 tunnel, and we go see our friend Jennifer.
Yep.
And her son and her friends, and so we go say hi over there. You know, have a beverage and hang out for a minute. And I start looking around, and I realize 2 things. These are the tightest camping sites I've ever seen.
They were, what, 10 feet?
10 feet on
10
the
feet
wide
wide?
side.
It was
So
like
it's a corner, so all the sites are pie shaped.
Okay.
10 feet on the wide side, tapered in.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
like
bro.
not even big enough for a vehicle in a tent.
You could not open your car doors on both sides, like almost like long. Okay,
Atlanta, what are you doing?
Dude,
go
you had
to
be
go to
good
go
friends
to
with your
go to a
neighbors.
Walmart or any store. You know how they have the parking lot.
Yeah.
Imagine you have 2 spaces in line.
Yes.
Legit, bro.
Wow.
Tight.
And is that art? That's not RV, or is that camping?
This is tent camping.
Okay.
But you could.
Once you're in, you almost cannot get out.
Oh,
If
no.
you're late, you almost cannot get in.
Yes.
It is, bro. When I say packed.
Well, I mean, the race shows up.
I mean,
It
and
delivers.
it was packed,
Oh yeah.
and so that was cool.
Trash cans.
How crowded it was. Second thing, no trash cans
Oh,
Not a
no.
single trash can.
That's a bad
on the
idea.
infield.
Bad idea, NASCAR.
On
No,
the
Daytona
infield.
has,
No,
like,
no,
the-
this is
the
not NASCAR.
barrels.
This is SMI.
Sorry.
You go to
SMI.
NASCAR track. Trash cans everywhere.
Every 4 or 5 spots,
Yeah.
there's a can with a bag.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, people
Nope.
would just
You
have
have
their
to know where
bags
those
out
are.
by
They
the
just
road.
leave their bags, bro. So there's bags of trash. Dude, it's just not a
With
vibe.
golf carts, and it's 95 degrees out with no breeze. Like,
Mind you, that is the tent camping and the RV camping.
Ooh.
yes.
And
No,
RV is
they-
on the backstretch, right?
There's some like up on the top of turn 1. There's some in turns 1 and 2, and then some on the backstretch. The backstretch, I don't know. We didn't go up there. So backstretch, top of 1 and 2, like up on the banking. They could have it. I don't know. But look, let's see. What do you say? My 100 square foot camping site cleared.
Atlanta campsite. Sounds like it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So, it's just insane. Like trying to find a trash can was insane.
Yeah, we were just
Impossible.
walking around with empty cans. I was like, I don't know where a trash can is. I'm not just going to throw it on the ground.
Bro, insane.
That's a
Bathrooms were
problem.
nice
It's just
though
weird.
on the inside.
Clearly, see, this is
Campground
some-
bathrooms were nice.
NASCAR learned something from Disney. Trash cans every 14 feet.
Yeah. No, the
That is
infield
the thing.
of every NASCAR owned track I've been to, every ISC track, way more facility, like trash cans, like nice modern bathrooms,
Right.
much nicer. This was like, I feel like we're absolutely back in the 90s.
Like, people brought their own Rubbermaid, like, black trash bags.
Did they have a trough at least?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a big drop.
They did have a big trough.
Yep.
So we get
I
into-
felt at home.
So this is the funny part, just to kind of finish up the trash can story. We went over to go see our friends with Dega Nation
Yeah.
in turn 1.
Super
It's-
awesome, guys.
Yeah, good to see them. Thank you, Dega Nation, for your hospitality. Y'all are great people. It was really good to see you. They let my kids swim in their pool.
Oh, that's cool.
It was fun. It was
Yep.
perfect because it was getting hot and they needed that cool off. And then I realized, I was like, wow, look, I'm like over here. I'm like, it's crazy. I can't believe I'm talking to them. I was like, I can't believe they don't have trash cans over there in the campground. Like, they don't have trash cans here. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, bro, we bring our own trash cans to have trash cans. I was like, that is so ghetto. I was like, how are you making the race fans bring trash cans?
Right?
Like, that's ridiculous.
I don't know.
So, yeah, no. So, it basically, in turns 3 and 4, everybody just leaves their trash on the road. And I guess they drive
have
around.
They
Someone
drive
that
by and
picks
just
it up.
pick up and throw the bags in the back
Yeah.
of a cart or something.
I don't know. Maybe we're
Wow.
just bougie, but
Are we? It's a trash can.
I think basic trash service, I think, should be. I don't think that's.
those
being
are my
too
only
much.
2 complaints about the whole thing. So I just want to get this out of the way.
Yeah.
Everything else was amazing.
But so I'll jump into the good part. When we were at the race, sitting in the stands, people walked around with trash bags for cans and trash. So
Yes.
like they would
Okay.
walk up to you like during caution laps, got any trash, and you'd throw like a pizza
I've
box.
never seen them do that.
This
Me
is a
neither.
thing they
That's
have.
cool.
Okay,
So that was kind of
Maybe
cool.
that was a
Trash
part of
cans.
the Echo Park thing.
Maybe. So
Buy
that
a
like
few more trash cans. You wouldn't have to do that.
exactly. But that was kind of cool. You know, I mean, he probably walked by. The one guy was probably walking by like 10 times during
Yeah.
the whole race.
But,
Probably,
well,
yeah.
think about it. If you have one guy walking over a section doing that, think how much time it probably saves him at the end of the night
Oh, probably.
cleaning up
Cleaning
to
up.
you.
Well, so
Oh boy.
the people behind us cared nothing about finding a trash can. Or not
Okay.
behind us, but close to us.
Before we jump into that, Atlanta, real race fans.
Real race fans.
Real race fans. Not the bougie race fans that I go to the 500 and I go to Daytona
Indy.
and, you know, the whole Instagram, like,
That
oh,
felt
yeah, we don't
targeted.
know anyone, but, you know, no. Real race fans went to Atlanta. This
Bro,
was a real race fan.
That
town.
was like a rowdy college football game or like a rock concert.
That
Bingo.
makes more sense.
It was every time Chase Elliott took the lead was like back in the day at Talladega when
Erupted.
Dale Jr. took the lead. The crowd went freaking insane, which mind you, I don't know how it looked on TV, but it looked almost sold out.
It did.
from where we were.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't see any
the
empty
infield
seats.
was completely packed. Everything looked full.
Yeah.
Dude.
Everything did.
And then I don't know of any racetrack hating Joey Logano more than Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Makes sense.
So we were right towards. He had number 1 pit stall, and that's kind of where we sat. Was kind of just adjacent to it.
Yeah.
Real quick before that.
Yeah.
So right before that, you thought Denny gets booed bad
Yeah.
during driver intros? Bro, he got the loudest boo I've ever heard of any driver ever. And when he came, because we're right by where the trucks like pick people up, he got MF'd so hard and middle finger. I was like, wow, if you're a Logano fan, it's almost dangerous. But like, everybody was still being friendly. Like everybody like, but they would yell like the meanest thing and like turn around at their buddy, like or like somebody like
What, you
Logano
mean like
thing,
the one
laugh.
time you yelled at the guy at Buc-ee's for being a Blaney fan?
Bro, that was a joke because he won the race or
Okay,
something.
no, hold on.
You did the block.
Okay,
Buddy
okay,
didn't
whatever.
think it was a
Okay.
joke.
So I was inside getting concessions, not even in the grandstands. Everything's erupting around me. I'm like, oh no, something's going down. No, it's just Joey Logano. It was insane.
Great.
Just like everyone was stomping the metal. It's like bleacher style.
Yeah.
So everything's rumbling above me. I was like, oh my Lord, like what is happening?
Oh,
Bro.
they just introduced
Riot's
Joey
about to
Logano.
start.
So you can talk about when he wrecked?
Yeah, so he wrecks, right?
Right.
And you've seen the clips,
The
right? He's,
video.
he's
Oh,
bobbing
yeah.
up and down, right? And he pulls
Wobble
right
with it, wobble with it,
Yeah.
wobble.
He pulls right into his pit zone, and we're right pit box, and we're right there, dude. The whole crowd just
Bro,
just
I'm
erupts.
talking
I mean, but they're like
erupting into loud cheers.
they're like
Dang.
you F suck, just getting him.
Bro.
Dang.
When he got out of the car,
Oh,
even
bro.
louder.
Bro, everybody clapping, and they're like, somebody started chanting like, "Go home, go home!" Like they had like 3 sections just scream, bro. It was wild. I was like, "Whoa!"
Dang.
Oh man, I'm really bummed up. I missed
Bro,
this
it
now.
was crazy. I was shocked because I was like, I have never
Again.
seen a race crowd like this ever.
Daytona's a little bit more calm. It's a little bit more neutral, but
Bro,
no,
were
it wasn't.
wild. And then of course when Chase Elliott won, oh my god.
I was almost in a very dangerous situation being a Brad fan. I was. It was funny because Chase Elliott gets the lead. The whole area erupts in
The
cheers.
whole stadium.
Then Brad takes the lead, and I'm just like, yeah, all by myself. And I'm looking around like, no one,
Not another
not
one.
a single. All right. So I'm
Well,
like,
it's
just
not that
don't-
people hate Brad; they just feel
All
bad
right,
for
I'm
you.
gonna head out.
I will tell you,
I'm
with
like,
the rain
thank you for
delay,
not wrecking him.
there may have been a rain delay and the race was delayed, but there was not a delay on beverages being consumed.
Oh, I'm sure.
Dude, people were getting after it. The people close to us, they were creating a giant like
Beer throw.
collection of like beer cans.
Can
Wow.
thrones. There was probably 50 cans.
Nah, more than that.
More?
Dude, pushing 100.
Oh my.
I don't know if you saw it at the end of the night. Dude, they were
No.
falling off. I mean, it was insane. Like, and like somebody tried to stack it and knocked it all over. I thought that like everybody around was gonna like beat him up. Dude, it was like they were very proud of this thing. Like, it was fun.
Oh, dang, man.
So,
But it was fun.
Funny, a couple things in the chat. If we needed more trash cans, we should have just looked for Logano fans.
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you, Yenny, for that. Brent wants us to talk about TNT.
That's gonna have to be on y'all because we didn't watch it.
So TNT, I thought obviously the broadcast, the analyst or whatever you want to call it, the broadcasters, same basic crew.
It's the same, right?
But I don't know, Jeff. You could tell me if you think so. It felt like it was them, but with Fox's broadcast.
So it's supposed to be.
Is that kind of, I don't know. Am I alone in that one?
I don't know.
It was better than Fox.
It was better. It was 100% better. Than
Yeah,
Fox.
but there was things like they were too far. The
Fox,
cameras
Fox
were zoomed
is
in.
like the bar is in hell. So
That's fair.
I mean,
But like
Like,
the
It's a Joey Logano fan.
but
That's where the trash cans are.
the cameras were too zoomed in at times. Like they were doing
okay,
that stuff.
That part
They
I can
went
agree
to
with.
commercial, a full screen commercial, which I had forgotten that existed. Because we've gotten so used to Prime and Fox being like Super Speedway, we have
to
learned in
remember.
Super Speedways we're going to make sure that we have green flag racing.
I tried to be a little bit like forgiving
because
just
every time we went to
just,
caution,
like Fox,
commercial.
like I said, the bar's in hell. But then Prime was like
so high.
that's kind of like the new gold standard.
Yeah,
So I gave it a little bit of grace. It was better than Fox, but not as good as Prime.
Yeah.
So, but there were times where I'm like, bro, why is this camera like way zoomed in for this?
There was stuff
No
like
reason.
that. Some of the shots were kind of weird. They kept
But-
having issues with their. They had some really cool drone shots of like tracking shots going
Yeah.
side by side and around the turns that were really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, the only problem was they clearly didn't know anything about signal strength because it kept cutting out.
Oh,
So they'd be
no.
showing it, and all of a sudden, black screen.
Oh,
Junior's
man.
still talking, and that happened multiple times.
That's not good.
I'm nitpicking, but like,
No, that's
still.
sloppy. I mean, it's your first race.
Yeah.
You
It's-
should know
It's
better.
Echo Park's premier race.
In all fairness, they don't have a practice session.
Okay, you can say this too.
They have no
I-
warm up. Their only warm up is single
I-
car qualifying.
Yep.
I think
That's
not on-
tough. Bro.
they 100% were pushing the Echo Park thing way more
they
than
had.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It was
the
their
amount
inaugural
of time
race, bro.
they should have had an Echo Park counter,
Counter?
on the corner, bro. They said that
be
name
quite the
so
drinking game,
many
huh?
times.
Oh no,
Bro,
you'll kill
no.
someone.
That's like that's hospital.
Can I
worthy.
ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Were they giving away a motorcycle?
I
Did they
didn't
say
see that.
anything on TV about that?
Not
Do you
that
see
I'm
that in
aware.
Victory Lane?
Yeah.
Not
I
that I
thought that
remember.
was the trophy. Was this huge Harley motorcycle?
I don't know why that was sitting in Victory Lane.
I don't know either.
They
And then they're
also
like,
apparently
"Here's
got
the
a truck.
trophy."
You see, he got a truck
And
too.
then there was a truck too. Yeah, like a
Yeah,
Chevy
winner of
truck.
the
I was
race
like,
got a Silverado.
Oh,
that would be
no.
really dumb if you were a Toyota guy.
Yeah, right.
That's why I was like, okay, a Harley's kind of like neutral. Like, oh yeah, you get a
Yeah.
bike, an Echo Park bike.
That'd be good.
and a
That would be
trophy.
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There was a bike in Victory Lane.
I
There
don't
was
know
also-
why.
Who's
I don't know why
Was that
either.
Chase's dog?
Where?
There was a dog in Victory Lane.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You
was
can't
like-
talk
I do
about
want to
Joey
say
Logano
something
like
about
that.
I do want to say something about the Logano thing because like I've obviously like
It's a lot
that
of
sounds
Logano
way
hate.
crazier than I've like anything I've been to as far as Atlanta because I've been to Atlanta a lot.
Bro, this
This
crowd
is like one of the
was
first,
like nothing
This is
I've
one
ever
of the
been
first
to.
Atlantas I actually missed. So like I'm pretty sure. So like I mean I remember the last Logano issue I remember at Atlanta was the Blaney blocking Larson kind of thing, allowing Joe Logano to win the race. And I remember walking out of there, and people were like looking for Logano fans. To,
Oh
like, beat
yeah,
up
cussing
kind of
them and
thing.
yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
it was
Yeah, it was
bad.
wild.
I haven't
And
been
so
to a lot of
maybe-
races where it's
maybe-
dangerous, but
Maybe that's just maybe
It wasn't
Maybe they
dangerous,
just never
but
forgot.
They just wanna let
never
'em know.
Forgot. You know,
You know.
maybe that grudge is still there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
But that's hilarious.
to go back to your point about the production and everything. So the talent, the on-screen talent is very similar, almost identical, but the production is completely different. Every other part of the behind the scenes, like there may be some that are shared, but it's totally different.
Yeah, I heard
I didn't have an issue with the crew at all.
I mean,
The commentary.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to compare
it
this,
was
to
the production side.
If we didn't have Prime at all, and we just had this after Fox, it would have been like, oh wow, yeah, they're a lot better.
Yeah.
But it's just
But you got
after
Prime.
Prime.
yeah,
it's
but
like,
because we had that
And we knew this was
race
going to be a problem.
thing.
yeah, and so I mean that is a problem. I'm hoping some of it is just growing pains.
That's why mentally I was just like, all right.
Once
you know,
NBC
I know
shows
this
up, it's
isn't
gonna be the norm.
Prime.
That you have
But-
NBC. It'll be interesting to see how they compare because remember we used to hold them to a much higher standard than Fox. How are they going
Well,
to?
they were the ones that first showed up and said, "Hey, stage 3, no commercials or super speedways." They were the first ones to do that.
Yeah, it's no full screen. We'll go side by side.
Yes,
Yeah.
which we were like, "Thank you for super speedways. You need that." You
Yeah.
know, not that it doesn't like break the deal, but it's nice for the casual viewer. Like, hey, it's a super speedway. You want to
was-
watch every lap.
It was
Prime was
really-
like that. We watched every green flag lap.
Yeah.
You know what was weird?
Why is that not?
It
the norm?
was a shell shock to me when the first commercial came in. Granted, it came in like Fox. They're notorious for. All right, it's been 5 laps. We're gonna go to commercial now. They waited, I think, 35 laps before their first commercial break.
That's good.
It
That's
was
nice.
It was a good long run.
It was good.
But I was laughing because I'm like, oh, okay, commercial. I'm like, wow, this is weird. And it lasted what I felt like was a long time, which again, maybe just be I'm getting used to not having them. And then all of a sudden they come back and they're under caution. I'm like, oh, here we go again.
I think it was
Oh,
rain.
man.
And it was
just rain.
It was
though.
rain. It was not an incident. So I was like, okay, I can't really blame them for weather,
But what if it was something else?
but it could have been.
That's what
and
I'm
I'm just
saying.
like, why, this is why I would have rather
Yeah,
been side
yeah,
by
yeah.
side.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
I mean, not the end of the world. But I'm sorry, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but
No, you're
that's definitely something that I thought, And then we've had other people saying, I didn't really notice as much. I don't have super good speakers on my TV, so I could have been off. Saying that the sound of the cars sounded more muffled than it did with Prime. I couldn't tell you. It
it was
sounded
loud there. I'll tell you that.
It sounded
It was
about
pretty loud.
like normal to me. But
Do you guys
anyway.
want to jump into the big wreck? Because I think that's kind of the last thing we haven't really talked about was the big wreck
Yeah,
that took out
that was
every-
insane. I don't think that was the
Tw-
biggest wreck in Atlanta history. I think, right?
22 cars.
Probably, yeah.
22 cars.
22
it was
cars
destined,
involved.
Joey was supposed to fail.
Bro, they sent like I forget like Jeff Gluck or Bob.
It was also
like,
on lap
they tweeted
69.
like, here's the list, the unofficial list from NASCAR that of the cars that were involved. It was like 12 cars. I was like, absolutely not.
Dude,
I was
what
like,
was-
it's way more
What
than
was
that.
wild about the wreck is like maybe like a handful of laps before the wreck, I was like, oh man, I freaking forgot to fill out my grid.
Oh, your
like,
bracket?
my bracket. And then the wreck happened. I was like, I'm really glad I didn't spend the time to fill out my bracket. I was like, I would have lost anyway.
I have
yeah.
four. I have 4 that I got right. Out of
I think
so
I
what
had
was
5.
16?
3.
3, my lord. Big number 3.
Big number 3.
Big number 3.
Anywho, yeah, so 22 cars involved.
Yep.
Took out
All the big hitters.
all the big names.
Oh,
all
yeah.
of
Because
Penske
that was
gone.
it was right after the
All
field
of
had
Penske
flipped.
did get wiped out.
all of Penske
4
was
for
gone.
4.
Yes.
Blaney was already out. Blaney
Yes,
had,
Blaney was
he had,
already
he had
out.
a wreck
Yes.
prior.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He was
So-
fixing
There
up
was
the
that.
first
There was
problem.
that turn 4 wreck. Yeah.
Yeah. So Blaney technically was already gone.
Blaney
but
again gets right hooked into
Dude,
the super speedway.
I think they
barrier
said this was his 6th DNF.
at Atlanta.
No,
Or just
this year.
This year.
Oh god.
Yeah. He's lucky he's got to
Yeah.
win.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Alex, I'm sorry, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you need to come back down here or something and get some good juju.
So
Yeah.
having all the big hitters wreck out, the entire rest of the race had 2 prior winners for the year. It was Larson, who was heavily damaged and multiple laps down, and SVG, who was shockingly somehow good for a majority of this race.
He actually was.
He had a good couple runs.
You know,
figuring it
the
out.
problem was people kept like where you'd like work with somebody else and maybe like work together to get
Yes.
a push. Nobody worked with him.
No.
Nobody would.
Well, he doesn't have the trust yet.
Let's push
That's
each other up. Let's get up there, and then we'll try to see who can do. No, he got juked every single chance.
And he
Yeah.
had no teammates.
I
Because at
was
this
like-
point, both his teammates are out.
He looked like somebody that's like a fast rookie, like in a super speedway that gets just left behind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the trust factor yet. I mean, half the time Brad was going middle, getting around him and someone else, and I was just like, this is where it happens. SVG's gonna wreck him, and it didn't happen. I was like, you got some trust from me.
Yeah.
All right,
Getting
we
brownie
can, we
points.
can work with SVG. He knows how to hold a line.
Yeah. He did a good job.
So that
was
being
pretty
said,
cool.
with all the big hitters out, this race was a dogfight.
Oh, it
Ever
was.
since
Oh, yeah.
that big wreck, dude, everyone was thirsty. They were all
So,
hungry for the win.
Matt looked at me. He's like, after that big wreck, he's like, Jake, he's like, I don't think there's any winners left. And then we figured out, oh, Larson's on. And then we're like, oh, SVG. And then we're like 50 laps later, it's like Kyle Busch came back. We're like, there's 3 winners in the field.
Well,
We're
my
like
whole
high fiving each other.
My whole thing, the first thing I always want to root for in a race is I want a new winner because I like that chaos on the
Yeah.
bubble.
Yeah.
When it comes down to Daytona, like there's only one spot left, or oh, this guy has to win and he's got enough stage points to knock this guy. Like
Oh, yeah.
I like that drama. I don't like
Yeah.
when we walk into Daytona, the last race of this regular
It's
season,
almost set.
and it's like, oh, there's 6 spots left. That's boring.
There's 6 spots left.
Or
Those
4
guys are
spots
all
left.
locked up. And
Yeah.
only a
There's like one
Harrison
position.
Burton out of it is going to change the whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
I want that upset winner. So it's like walking into Atlanta, I was like, I really, I want Brad to win. I want Busher to win. That would be a new winner. But it's like, I just want a new winner. And it came true. I was super happy about
Yeah.
that. I was
Yeah.
really stoked that happened.
It was wild. I think we were like, what was that last caution? Like 30 to go?
Yeah.
Me and Matt were looking. We were like, I think it was like you had to get down to like 17th, which was SVG or Larson. I was like, that was your last winner this year. Like top 16 were all non-winners. I was like, this has the potential to be insane.
Yeah.
Like-
And it was.
Or even if a Chase Elliott, which he did win, or anybody that's pretty well in the points, you know what I mean? Like it just solidifies that bottom 4 even
Yeah,
more.
because it didn't really change
know?
the order of anything. Because
No, it
Chase
didn't
was
change the
pretty
bubble.
close to. I mean, he was.
He
locked
was
in.
all but locked.
Yeah,
you know,
he's-
unless he has a total meltdown. But
Yeah, he was in pretty good shape. So I mean, it didn't change much there, but it is one more position that's now not
He
there.
wanted that win.
yeah,
You could see he
I mean-
wanted that win.
It was cool.
that,
Look, so you're
that
just-
win actually moved Chase up to 2nd in the overall points.
Wow.
Ready for this? Hendrick is 1, 2, 3
Ooh,
by a pretty solid margin.
Darn right.
that's wild.
It's Byron,
Larson's gotta
Elliott,
drop
and
out.
Larson,
Darn
Larson's
right.
got to drop a little bit lower soon.
and then
It's like his
Bowman.
5th bad week.
way down there. Bowman's
So.
still in it barely.
He might. I mean,
He did run
He's
good.
usually good for a win a year.
What I do want to
So.
say is Brad ran really well, but I told you like
Yeah.
halfway through the race, some of the moves Chase, especially after that wreck, some of the moves Chase was making.
Oh, it was
I was
insane.
like, I don't know that he's gonna be denied. I told him, I told Matt, I was like,
It's gonna be records
think
and checkers.
it's gonna be, if there's another big wreck, it's gonna be Chase and Brad. Like, because
I would see it.
Chase is gonna make an insane move and Brad's gonna try to block it,
See,
which it almost happened on the last lap.
I was
Yeah.
thinking it was going to be Chase and Bowman because them two
For a
were,
while.
Dude, they were not racing like teammates.
They were not teammates.
The only time they worked together was when Bowman decided to go down and try to go for second instead
Yeah.
of pushing Brad for a run. That was
Yeah.
the only time they raced like teammates all
Yeah.
day.
I was like, this.
And then they lined up like 2 times on restarts. You had like the RFK on the outside and like Hendrick Motorsports on the inside. I was like, all right, HMS versus RFK. Let's go.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, it was.
Nope.
That's not what happened.
was
No,
fun.
it was really good. I mean, just, oh gosh. I mean, the ending.
You had a great point on the way home. You said there
That's
was not
first.
a lot of true. I want to call it out. That's why I'm bringing it up.
That's fair.
So you said there was not a lot of team orders today.
I didn't see that many. I mean, Penske in the first stage, yes, but I think a lot of people were just trying to find their friends. RFK was not. I listened to Brad almost 80% of the race, maybe 90. He did not give 2 turds where the other 2 were. He figured he'd find them, and that was life.
Yeah. Well, remember that one time he grilled his team.
Oh yeah,
So they were coming to a choose for a
I think
restart.
it was the last. It was probably the last.
It was
restart.
one. It was definitely in stage 3 towards the end. I don't think it was the last. It was like I think it was the one before the last
Maybe.
because the last one lined up 2 RFK, 2 HMS.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
So I think it was the one before, but so they gave up a couple rows to all be lined up behind Brad, Priest, and Busher.
He was
And
not a fan of that.
So they're like, "Hey, Brad, you got Priest and Busher behind you," and I guess he knew enough about where they were, and he said, "Don't ever give up rows to line up like that again." I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
spicy."
Ouch.
No, he was like, "Don't ever do that again." He's like, "Tell them don't ever do that again." I don't want to hear that. I was like, "Ooh."
the boss showed
Dude,
up.
when he
Yeah.
said it, it was like, "Oh, he's a little upset."
yeah.
His interview out of the car, you could tell he was a little.
He had
a
no
little
friends
angry.
left. He
Yeah.
said it openly. He's
Yeah.
like, I didn't have a teammate. He's like, I could race one of them. I couldn't stop both
Yeah,
of
they
them.
were double teaming
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I was like, that's life.
I'll tell you, it's the only time anybody worked together really was the Penske's in the beginning and the HMS guys at the very end. That
Yeah.
was it. Nobody else. Well, I guess the RFK guys tried to work together, and Brad was right because it just didn't work. They all got split within 3 laps. They were all split up.
Yeah.
So like it just didn't matter.
Personally, I didn't think RFK had the cars to win. I thought they were good in traffic, but clean air was not their friend. I don't know why. Whenever Brad got to the front, like it was almost like a parachute.
I can
but
second
in the
that.
back, same with Busher. But in the back, when he was like second, third, oh, he could be right with him. It was so weird.
That's what I noticed in like that.
I didn't think he had the
front-
car.
That front, like not dash cam. You know that one cam where it sits at the very front of the car.
Yeah.
You can 100% tell that when Brad was in traffic, especially in the last like 20 laps or so, he's just getting these absolutely crazy runs.
Yeah.
But then the second he gets up front, it's like,
Parachute.
yeah.
Everyone
See,
caught
I feel
right
like
up to him.
like Chase Elliott was like that too.
I mean, it's
Because
very
he
possible,
would
but
get there, and then but Brad
he
was
was
like
there-
the only guy. Maybe sometimes maybe
think
Bowman,
Reddick
but we
could
never
do-
saw. But Brad could like get right there, and he could just sit there and dive him and pass him too, and just pass.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like that 5 laps. They literally passed into 1, into 3, into 1, into 3, and just
Back
kept
and forth.
swapping the lead lap after
Yeah.
lap. And
It
I
was
was like,
great.
this is crazy.
It was great.
But
No, it was someone we didn't talk about too much. Your buddy Hocevar.
Yeah.
He
Wow, Dave.
well, don't get me wrong, I like Hocevar too, but I'm just saying,
it's
just
hard to not like him.
I know. But I mean, he
No,
was looking
That's Stenhouse.
he was looking really solid this week.
yeah,
He was coming back towards that last like 30 laps.
Didn't he wreck and come back and get
Yes.
back
Yeah.
on the lead
Yep.
lap or something?
He wrecked and went into the garage during that red flag at that big wreck.
and so I think they said he only lost 2 laps at that
One.
point. One? Okay.
One
Yeah.
lap, and
Came
he was
back.
racing.
back.
He was funny. Another funny radio quip. He was racing himself, the 71 and the 76. Like, these are the 3 guys you're racing for the lucky dog. He's like, okay, so I'm only racing the 71. I was like, all right, man, take it easy on old David Starr, man. You gotta like, you just gotta dog him like that.
Man, man.
I mean, he was dangerously slow and absolutely should have been pulled off the
One
track.
of the,
Is it one to go
How
yet?
slow is minimum speed?
you know,
It's
Did y'all see that with the 66?
yeah, I was wondering.
Dude, that was insane.
dude, from what they've said on other podcasts, it's a very loose number. It's not a solid number.
It should be a solid number. And even if it's
Dude,
each
that
track
was
is a different number.
It's almost like each driver has a different number they follow.
And see, that's not right.
David Starr has a very wide grace period, like grace.
Yeah,
Bro,
that's not
that
right.
is it.
But
it
like
was
someone
so
like
bad.
Bubba, it's probably pretty tight. Like, hey, you got to meet this speed. You know, I don't know.
Do you think it
I
was
don't know.
funny? I did not, Yenny, I did not hear this on the radio, but apparently Hocevar was talking crap about his team, and I guess they told him your teammates are in 33rd and 35th, and he said, "Is that intentional or unintentional?"
Ooh,
Which is the most
Sounds like he's going to
thing. That sounds like a Hocevar thing to say.
It was so I kept anytime because like I listened to him a little bit in the beginning when he was trying to make moves to the front. And he got caught up in that early big wreck, and then came back out. But then he did a lot of like riding kind of like in the back. When he was a lap down, he did make a move up to the front, which is hilarious. I was listening to Chase Elliott and his spotter, and he goes, Chase Elliott's spotter is like, Hocevar does a crazy move down, dives the bottom, almost wrecks like half the field again. And Chase Elliott's spotter is like, I don't know what the heck that guy's doing. He has no competition for the lucky dog, and he wants to try to get there like we don't give away like free like lucky dogs anymore.
he's trying to get his lap back on like the
like
old
he's
way.
like they're
Straight
trying to
up.
do it like the old way, like we don't
Yeah.
give away lucky dogs anymore or something like that. And it was true. I was like, bro, why gonna go up there and wreck?
Why?
Why? You have
Just save the fuel at this point and just make your pit stop faster.
So he seemed to get smarter after that and rode a lot in the back and would occasionally make big runs, but then he just kind of like rode in the back. But you could tell he had speed.
was that more? You think maybe he could have just been like feeling out the car? Like, what do I got?
I think they were still working on it every stop, a little bit. And I mean, I think they just had the speed that they could just get up there if they wanted to, but they just kept trying to pit. Because like, so the end of the race had those couple different strategies of like, could you make it to the end or not? We're not gonna break it all down, but so I kept seeing him kind of like playing it safe and trying to like, try to make it to the end. So he kept like pitting the top off. So he
Yeah.
kept restarting in the back,
Yeah.
but he ended up making a great run there the last 20
Yeah.
laps.
What do you happen to know when he finished? I don't remember. Looking it
I
up.
think top 5.
It
close.
just
6,
continues.
maybe
it
7.
was a solid run.
It's,
If
Hold up
not
real
top
quick.
5, it's probably 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that I guess we've kind of talked about before, but like, dude, just the speed from Spire is just impressive.
The
From
speed
where-
from Hocevar.
I mean, okay, from Hocevar specifically, but
Yeah.
like,
I've not
that's-
seen it in the other cars.
Oh, for sure, but like, I don't know, like, it's just impressive.
was
Haley
10th.
did do pretty good.
It's just
yesterday.
impressive.
Hocevar
Yes,
was
he is.
10th.
He's amazing.
10th.
That is a sick
10th?
shirt, though.
Really? Oh man, he must have.
That
he
shirt
must have
is really
fall
sweet.
back.
That's
Oh
like
yeah, it's a great
vintage
shirt.
band shirt looking.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like an
That's
old,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like old vintage style.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So,
That was awesome.
Cool.
anyways, anything else from the Cup race? Xfinity
No.
race was pretty much exactly like the spring race.
Yeah.
I didn't watch too much of it, to be honest. It was too late.
It was pretty good. A couple
Knowing
big
I
wrecks.
had to drive all the way home, I was like, I can't stay up late and watch this thing.
Yeah. Jesse Love was a menace. He caused like 3 wrecks.
Yeah.
I was like, calm down. But
I did see Austin Hill went over to, who was that he was going over to? Someone at Colleague. Daniel Dye.
Oh yeah.
Was giving him,
Really?
Oh,
I
Gave
missed
him
that.
the business.
Why?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Because
what-
Daniel Dye flicked him off while driving. And he came over. He's like, "You gonna flick me off again? I'll teach you something."
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
he ain't watched that replay of Austin Hill hitting that guy.
Someone needs to show that man something now.
Bro, show him send him the link, dude. Like,
Hey, bro,
that's
I
a
would've-
bad idea.
Yeah, no, I guess he flicked him off, and yeah, he got his warning. Daniel Dye he got his warning.
That'll
Yeah.
be interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know.
Nick Sanchez wins.
That's cool. Happy for
Trucks.
them.
Trucks, they were at Lime Rock. So, did you guys? I did not know this. I saw this random. They do not have grandstands at anywhere in Lime Rock.
Mm.
It is all grass area, and fans bring their own setup and their own thing. It's encouraged to make it
Can you
more
bring
of like a
scissor
party.
lift?
I mean,
All
I
right.
don't, I mean, I don't
Boom
know.
lift?
I don't know.
Boom.
Over the trip. Over the
I
trip.
mean, that's kind of cool.
Bring 180.
That would
Have
be
your
pretty
own
wild.
flags. Start messing with the drivers.
I want to know how much the tickets were.
Yeah, fans are encouraged to bring their own chairs and set up on various hills and that overlook portions of
That's
the
cool.
course.
Well, from what I heard, Corey Haim
And it was packed.
destroyed the competition.
Yeah, it was the
It better
Heim.
be a free
Yeah.
race.
Out of the 100 laps, he led 99.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
So
We did not watch that.
it was Heim time.
It was
uh,
time.
Jordan Taylor, yeah, he got to third. That was about it.
I heard he got wiped out.
Yeah,
Oh, did he? I had him as my pick.
I think he ended up.
Who did he get wiped out by?
His probably Ty Majeski. Dude, I'm on a cold streak right now.
Who did you
Bro,
have? Who'd you have?
Ty
for truck?
Majeski.
Oh,
I think I'm like 4 in a row
Yeah,
dang.
on our little league.
I think
I'm like
you're
4.
close.
Who'd you have for Xfinity?
I think it was Majeski. That
I had Love, and he had Austin Hill with a fuel pressure.
Oh, that's
problems.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned
We were watching that race, and Matt picks Austin Hill, and he starts having fuel pressure problems at one of his best tracks. I'm like, yeah. Matt's like, I cannot believe I saved him for this.
Pain.
That was awesome.
I'm already picking out my Joey Logano diecast for you, so don't worry about it.
Oh no.
Oh man, I don't know if we told anybody, but yeah. So the bet that we're gonna start doing every year is the loser has to buy
The
a
winner
die
of diecast, but it's loser's choice.
loser's choice. So, it
So
has
I can buy any diecast I want for him, but he gets a diecast for winning this
Yeah.
series.
preferably something that they would hate.
yeah.
So Joey Logano scheme.
Did you
he's
guys
gonna-
know?
he's
Did you
gonna-
guys know that Jack Wood ran the truck race?
No,
Yeah,
No, there was a Jack Wood.
Yeah.
He drove a Chevy. Oddly enough.
Jack Wood runs like every week.
Oh, I
in
did
the
not.
91.
Shows you
right?
how much you watch truck races.
Yeah, it's a 91.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DJ, welcome to the truck series, brother.
Thank you.
That's
No.
why this is a Jake and Matt league.
I just saw that and I just thought it was funny because I'm like, wait a minute, Jack Wood.
It's like people keep asking to join
He
our
did
league. We're
what?
like, you have to watch all the races,
Yeah.
but that's the requirement for
Nope.
2 years. Watch every
Meanwhile,
race.
we didn't watch either race this week.
I did stay up and watch the Xfinity race, which was painful.
This was our mulligan.
I was trying to watch.
I tried to watch the truck
the
race.
trucks, but I ended up.
I was at the beach.
I was installing a chandelier.
I heard you had
in
your own
someone's
tow
house.
service.
Yeah, I got to talk about that actually.
We'll get
So,
into that.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to, are we done with Atlanta?
Yeah.
I think so.
I want to talk
think
about
we're-
driver intros. I had 2 funny stories from driver intros.
Oh yeah, you guys were in the pit.
Well, actually, I
yeah,
got 3. Actually, so yeah, we did have hot passes. So we were in the garage, and Elliott, my son, got his hat signed by Chase Elliott. So that was awesome.
That's awesome.
That was super cool.
Andy won the
Man,
race.
what a day.
Andy
for
won the
Elliott,
race. Oh,
bro.
so okay, so let's back that up. So
Yeah.
we went. My kids do love racing a lot. My youngest, he's a huge William Byron fan, big time,
Huge.
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 And he was heartbebroken once William Byron crashed out in that big crash. He was like, "I'm ready to go
Micah
home."
crashed out.
He's like, "I'm
It's
just done."
over.
He's like, "Mommy, give me your phone." He's like he is that fan. If his driver crashes out, he's out.
done.
He's done.
Yeah, that's-
He's like, "I'm just not. I don't care."
That's your son.
He was locked in before
I
that.
was secretly
That-
hoping
that's
Elliott
Jake's son.
wrecked just so 50% of the stands would leave.
Bro, we can get better traffic.
I was like, come on.
I was like, bro, yeah, because we've never I don't know how to get out of here with this much people here. This is crazy. But so we did
That's
this for Elliott's birthday because we got the hot passes. We set this whole thing up, and we met Chase Elliott, which was super cool. And then, like I said, we went to the infield and did all kinds of stuff. But then we went to the line where all the drivers come out, and so we found us a great spot. Excuse me. Oh man, we
You getting choked up over there?
get choked up. No, so we were there, and Noah comes by.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Noah
Oh,
Gregson.
yeah.
Did you do
no.
it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So he comes by, I'm like, and I see him, and I think he recognized me from Homestead
No one could forget that face.
because I did it at Homestead when he leaned in the truck and did the picture with us. I'm like, Daddy, no one. And then I like dapped him up, or he came over and like dapped me up. So that was funny. But he was like,
Nice.
"Thanks, man." And he kind of like laughed, like almost like that, like almost like embarrassed, kind of, because
Yeah,
I
just
yelled
like,
it
are
out
you
in front of all these people.
Yeah.
But it was funny. And then this is the best interaction with a driver I've ever seen in my entire life, like for like a signing or whatever. So Alex Bowman and William Byron are coming out at the same time. Mind you, again, my youngest son, Micah, the biggest William Byron fan ever. He's the whole time we're standing there for like all of like 7-8 minutes. Daddy, where's William Byron? Where's William Byron? Here comes Chase Elliott. Here comes Brad. Here comes whatever. Oh, let me back it up. There's actually a first story. Blaney came before them. And Elliott goes,
This is funny.
This is hilarious.
Elliott, I don't know
I saw
why
the video.
he did this. I don't know why. He's not prompt. He goes, he's like, Blaney, and like high fives him. He's like, Rick Brad Keselowski. And Blaney's like, I'm not gonna do that.
He was like,
I was
wait a
me and
minute.
I'm over here like, why would you say that?
The funniest
Elliott's over
part.
there like, destroy your enemies.
The funniest
Slay.
part that cracked me up in the video is like, it wasn't like he was just like, okay, that's one time, that's funny. As Blaney's leaving, he's like, don't forget, wreck him.
Yeah, he's like, Rick,
no.
and Blaney's like, no, I'm not gonna do it, bro. That was funny. So then anyway, so
That was
Alex
funny,
Bowman's
bro.
coming, and William Byron's about like 15 feet behind him, and they're like kind of signing a couple things for people. And Alex Bowman comes up, not really paying attention, a little bit, grabs, goes to grab Micah's hat, and Micah pulls it back. And he's like, he kind of looks, he's kind of shocked, like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, it's a William Byron hat. He's like, you want William Byron's hat? And Micah's like, yeah. He looks over to William Byron, who's like 10 feet away at this point. He goes, hey, William, if you don't sign this hat, you suck. And walks away. And William Byron kind of comes up like, what's going on? What? Signs the hat. Anyway, it's funny.
That's funny, bro.
Alex Bowen was just like, yeah, if you don't sign this hat, you suck.
That's awesome.
That's
man.
hilarious.
Hilarious, dude.
It's funny how they all kind of. I mean, I guess if you're teammates, you can pick on each other like that.
Yeah.
You know? So
Dude,
that's
you should have.
pretty
Did you guys watch
was
the
a
video
trip.
I sent of all the drivers that were like ragging on each other for the bracket
Yes,
challenge?
bro.
Dude,
All
even
the
Stenhouse.
trash talk?
Stenhouse saying, "Oh, I'm against Bell." Well, I did give him my spotter, so maybe I'm like sabotaging him. And
That
I
was
was like,
pretty
we
funny.
did plan to sabotage
If you
his
know
spotter.
that story, oh,
bro.
oh boy.
Stenny, it's Stenhouse. Denny,
Stenny?
Denny Stenhouse.
Denny.
Anyway, he might be smarter than I thought he was. He wrecks a lot, but I mean, fourth dimensional chess.
He did win, right?
I mean, the bracket.
I think so. Yeah,
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bell brooked out.
yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Where's the tinfoil?
Dude, I do think it's funny that
All right, Tad,
Ty-
you're hired. Come on back, brother.
Ty Dillon literally telling Denny that he wrecked. What was it? He wrecked. Hey, Denny fans, I wrecked your driver.
He's like, I beat
That
your favorite
was
driver.
I beat your favorite
awesome.
driver.
Bro, that was
Hilarious.
so funny, bro.
That was fun.
Dude, you
I feel
could've-
like drivers all of a sudden this week, everybody all of a sudden got into it.
I love
Yeah.
on
When you're at the track,
I
you're
think
like,
it was
gotta
I
beat
saw it
that
on
guy.
Instagram, that clip of Ty Dillon saying that, and the first like comment on that video was Denny Hamlin saying legend.
Perfect.
I was the 11 afraid of the 10.
Oh, that's funny.
I think
bro.
that's it from Atlanta. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of. I'm sure there's other funny stuff.
I
but
think that's about it too. You know,
yeah.
Yep. Let's get into.
Oh, we were looking for
there's
the
more.
we were looking for the Nega Nation boys. I wasn't sure where they camped,
I had
so
no
we were
clue.
like walking around, and the guy Brent who dresses as a green leprechaun. You've probably seen him on
either
social
on
media.
TV or somewhere
So
at a track.
I literally get tired of like trying to find him, and I literally the first campsite we walked by, I was like, "Hey, do y'all know where the leprechaun camps?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, right behind us, about a row that way." And I was like, "Perfect, thank
you.
Only at a NASCAR race can you ask someone, "Do you know where the leprechaun is?" And they're
Oh.
like, "Yes."
And the best
right
part
over there.
was, I was telling my boys,
Actually.
we're looking for a leprechaun. And they're like, Daddy, leprechauns aren't real. They're not real. And we go ask that question, and they're like, oh, yeah, he's right over here. And they're like, what is happening?
Fun fact: we never saw him.
Yeah.
So like Micah and Elliott might still not believe.
It's
So-
gonna be better because we got to keep this up. So we go to another track and do it again.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
hope they're like, "Oh yeah, he's over here." And it's like,
He did call me
is
later.
real.
He did.
He's like, hey, I'm here. Where you at? I'm like, oh, we're in the stands.
We had to run. Yeah.
Dang, man.
But yeah, that's it. Atlanta was
That's
amazing, man. Super fun.
Can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to go.
That'll
back.
be a good one. So, all right, let's move on to our NAS news section. If you guys got other things that came up, this is
Noise.
the only two things I remember. So Rick Ware is selling. Rick Ware Racing.
I think selling and being bought out is, I think, two different subjects.
Maybe
This news is wild.
it's weird either way.
It's extremely weird.
So it's the former co-founder of Spire Motorsports has agreed to purchase something.
I think it's a gentleman's agreement. Right
Yeah,
now.
I don't know. Rick Ware Racing with plans to grow the operation. I don't know with what charters.
So they said that they plan on growing to a 3-car winning team.
Within like what was it, like 3 years?
I don't know. Where are you buying these charters from?
They're buying Rick Ware Racing. They're buying the charter.
That's 2 charters.
Oh,
And
New
one of them
OEM.
is
With
leased,
one in lawsuit to be sold to Legacy
OEM.
Motorsports.
and one's leased out.
there's 4 extra charters.
Yeah, new OEM. That's the only way they can.
I
do
would
it.
imagine they're coming back as a Dodge team.
Hey,
Now that's a possibility.
2028.
2028.
I mean, what does someone like Rick Ware have to like that team? What do they have to lose?
No, Rick Ware's going to take his 50 million.
No, I'm sorry, not
100
Rick
million
Ware,
and-
but I'm saying the team. What does that team have to lose at this point? You're already running toward the back. Go ahead and switch OEMs.
Yeah.
Worth a
That's
shot.
what
Rick Ware is leaving.
I get it.
if
but
Rick Ware
but those-
switches to Dodge before they sell, do they just get 4 free charters?
I doubt it's going to work that way. Well,
I'm just saying.
hold
Do
on.
you get them for free, or do you still have to purchase them? And if you
Surely you got to buy them for 25 million.
I was
from
going to say at
NASCAR.
least 25.
did
maybe.
they set that
I don't know.
price? Because
I don't know.
all these charter sales have just been team negotiated. This has not been a NASCAR.
Well, not to
thing.
mention that the
How can NASCAR
charters.
sell something?
The charters.
Exactly.
If NASCAR sells 4 more, they should sell it for let's say an agreed,
A buy-in.
a common price. Whatever the
It's still gonna be
standard
the
is.
cheapest charter you'll
That's
buy.
fine. That's fine. Let's call it 25 million. Maybe it's less. Maybe it's more.
You could buy
And
it.
then all that money should go back to the teams.
You could buy it and flip it.
I don't know.
Literally buy the charter and immediately at 20 million, immediately turn it around and sell it for 30.
And they might. I mean, NASCAR might get an additional 6 charters?
There's 6. It was a 6 for the new OEM, or was it 4?
Well, no,
yeah,
3
I
from
mean,
2311 and 3
Oh,
from.
I forgot about
they
that.
might get an additional 6. I mean,
Yeah, that's a whole other.
which we haven't heard that much about.
They have
Oh
to
my
put that
gosh.
in this week, don't they?
We'll find out
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. In other news, and related to that lawsuit, judge rules in favor of the non-lawsuit teams' information disagreement with NASCAR. So Jake, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but basically they were saying that the other teams that were not involved in the lawsuit, NASCAR was wanting to get their financials,
So
To
NASCAR wanted like
everything.
all their books. And then I guess the judge basically narrowed it down to like, hey, show your revenue, show your spending,
Overall.
and keep it anonymous.
Yeah.
You don't have to say, we're Hendrick, here's Napa's sponsor, here's Chase Elliott's
And
salary.
I think
No, you just got to be like, hey, we're X team. Hey, this sponsor's this much. Hey, our bills are this much. Driver, da da da. It's much more simple. It's much more anonymous and keeps it,
and I could be wrong, but I thought I heard that there's going to be a third party handling the information.
It is.
So there's
to stop it from.
NASCAR
It's
learning.
Echo Park.
It's not so much to stop NASCAR. The
It's Marcus
teams,
Smith.
what the teams care about is other teams stealing sponsorships.
Yeah.
Perfect example: JGR stealing King Hawaiian rolls from RFK.
Yeah.
Steal? No, I don't think it was a steal. Kroger's like
Oh, Kroger. Yeah.
Kroger came in and
It wasn't a
No.
steal, but
True.
you could.
might as well
You
buy my
could do
sponsor.
Yeah.
He's gonna wreck at Atlanta anyways.
So Jenny made this. I think Jenny made this point last week. Somebody did. It has been a while since we've seen Michael Jordan.
That
at
is
the
a good
racetrack.
point.
Yeah. Maybe they pulled his hard card.
Don't come back.
Oh man,
I
pulled
don't
Denny's dad's hard card. Michael Jordan.
Wow.
Oh,
you, Daddy.
Daddy Mike.
I want to be like Mike.
Oh man,
All
man,
right.
we had a joke. I can't remember what it was, but we definitely can't say it here. But it was a funny Denny and Michael Jordan joke. Remember?
Anyway,
No, I
Oh
don't.
yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah. Anyways,
yeah. Don't say that.
other news: truck teams. I forget who. I'm so sorry. Whoever did the report, they have an article on it. I don't know it off the top of my head. I read it briefly.
You're the greatest journalist.
I know I'm terrible, but truck teams are complaining about payouts.
Really?
Yes, and I saw a great stat this week. I will say this one from Eric Estep from Out of the Groove.
Yeah.
He showed truck.
he showed a twuck.
The twerk payouts.
The truck
Good
series at
twerkers.
Pocono had 20% of the viewership that Cup did, right? But they get 9% of the purse money as Cup.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's not right.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Ouch.
And there's only been one race that had that sent people home this year.
Hmm.
There's even the max truck field is 36. There's even been races as low as 31 or 32 trucks.
Yeah, I remember those.
So what you're
there's-
saying
there's-
is we could start a truck team.
Oh, easy.
It doesn't sound like a very good proposition right now.
No, probably not.
So I think, I don't know. I think they got to figure that out. They really got to figure that out. That's going to be a problem.
More people to
because
sue NASCAR.
I think one of all the team owners gave like anonymous quotes or whatever that obviously keep themselves safe from retaliation.
Yeah.
Obviously, but NASCAR's not mean. But
Oh, they're
Not at
super-
all.
They're super understanding.
yeah, definitely not monopolizing. people.
Mexico was a great series.
But
was a great track.
one team owner even said, "Oh, what did he say? Oh crap! It's just going to eventually become like a rich man's playground."
Oh yeah.
Harsh. I mean, it's pretty much there.
I would say
already.
it's
pretty
almost
close.
that point anyway.
I mean, I don't know how like these teams with these payouts so low. Like we've heard some insane numbers, like what it costs to sponsor a whole truck.
Yeah.
I mean, like not a lot of money.
No,
Like pretty
it's because
shockingly low.
your driver has to come in now with sponsorship already. Before
Yeah.
you're not.
But
it's
even
not about
still,
talent.
like I'm like, how are these teams making money?
I don't know.
They're not.
They have to be. The driver has to be coming with big pockets, and they're just trying to recoup some of that money.
I feel like that's
They're not
why-
trying to recoup it all. They're trying to get some of the money back.
I think that's where you see teams that are like already going into the lower series that already have cup teams because they know, hey, if I can find someone that's, a generational talent, lock someone up now, and then I know I got them coming to my team, it's worth that investment down in the lower series.
Yeah, I guess.
It's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's it.
We'll see.
Other news, the Days of Thunder. We talked about that. That there's still a little more rumors of that coming around.
It's a lot of
Jeff Gordon's been talking about it, especially with the F1 movie. Obviously, Tom Cruise was there at the premiere with Brad Pitt and everything. So like, that's gotten brought up some more. But yeah, that sounds like that might be in talks at least.
I think Hendrick Motorsports is going to be involved with it too. I just don't know how they.
Shocker. I bet NASCAR didn't even ask anyone else.
Oh! Let's back this up. Here's a question. The NASCAR lawsuit where NASCAR was requesting team financials.
Yeah.
There's 15 teams. 2 are suing NASCAR. They only asked for 12. Who didn't get asked?
That's interesting.
Who didn't get asked? Is it Rick Ware where they really don't care?
It's probably RCR.
I
ain't giving you nothing. Don't even ask.
You asked.
Wait, hold on.
My watch.
Hold on. You said 15. There's 15 teams.
15 teams and 2 are suing.
Yeah. So there's
They only
one.
asked for 12.
So there's one team they didn't.
They didn't
There's
ask.
one team they did not request financials from.
That's interesting.
That's very interesting.
Mm.
Based off of the
Coincidence? I think not.
the
Bernie.
Le Mans race. Le Mans.
Yeah.
Le Mans.
Le Mans.
The Le Mans race.
The Meow race.
The Meow.
Oh my God! Stop.
What was the other thing Hendrick just did the other day with them? We were just talking about the favoritism again. They just did something the other day.
You're right.
Oh wait,
they
you
did.
mean last week where they let Chase Elliott get a new set of tires to do his qualifying run again?
No, not that.
No,
there was some
we
other
judged
news
that
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you're right. I can't
remember.
I mean,
I don't
they
know.
did-
I
I think it was the
it's
Days of
kinda
Thunder
Hendrick.
thing. I think it was the Days of Thunder thing.
Yeah.
It could have been.
I
As
don't
a
know.
Hendrick fan, I plead the fifth.
Yeah, right.
Chad Canals over there just like, well, everything looks great, sir. So
Everything's
Hashtag
great,
Daddy's
just looking
car
back
at Le
to get
Mans,
back at the
says
race.
Hendrick.
Everything's great. Just looking forward to get back in my race car.
yeah, right.
Do you think if Kyle Larson wasn't with Hendrick, do you think he would not have gotten a waiver last year?
Last year,
Yeah, because that was the whole debacle waiver for
Yeah,
not showing
I think
up.
he would have.
Yeah. That there could have even I would be curious to know the timing of it exactly, but what if NASCAR's like, hey, like we'll help spearhead the teams like signing the charter agreement if you'll get us our waiver. We'll be the one that
Maybe.
bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's there's definitely some
It's also
there's
yeah.
some sharing of beds between NASCAR and Hendrick.
One big happy bed.
Yeah. So,
California sized.
All right, so that's pretty much it for race week. So I do have to tell a story, and you guys haven't heard my side of the story. I know apparently the story went around in our friend group for a while. So I went to the beach on this weekend.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, it was this weekend.
Okay.
So what?
Nothing.
Okay.
What?
Nothing.
Well, I got to tell a story at some point. I made a promise to somebody.
All right.
I'll get to that. So we
You
went
do
to the
look
beach.
tan.
Yeah. So I went to the beach. I was specifically told this Saturday, don't schedule anything because my wife wanted to go to the beach. So we went. My parents came with me. I actually had Matt's kids with us and stuff like that. So it was fun. We had a good time. Go and pull on the beach, and I'm parked. And we went to Daytona. It's our go-to beach. I get there, pull on the beach, drive on the beach, drive in, no problems. And I go to park. And as I park, I'm like, that sand was a little softer than I thought it was going to be. And I'm like, oh, this could be
Eek.
fun. So anyway, we have our fun at the beach, getting all taken out. My mom parks next to us. She has the same trouble, so she starts struggling to get out. So I help her rock back and forth, basically get her out of the spot, and they go. Then it's my turn, and this is my fault. This is all DJ. Sorry. So my car has a thing where when you put it in park, it automatically puts the e-brake on. I put it in drive,
right.
and I'm like ready to go, and I'm like, okay, did not look at the e-brake and hit the gas to try to go, and it just whoop, dug straight into the ground all the way to the frame.
Nice.
Completely to the frame. We had towels underneath there. I was digging it out, and I'm like, this thing's stuck.
you put towels.
We put towels under the wheels to try to grip it, and it wasn't
That's
budging.
desperate. That's
That's
desperate.
desperate.
What else was I gonna do?
No, I'm not knocking it. It's just That's how you know you're in trouble.
There was a couple of guys that came over that they were from up north, and they're like, "Oh, this is just like the snow." And they're like, "Let me," and I'm like, "Listen, bro, I grew up here, like
nothing like the snow."
And I'm like, I grew up here, like it's sand. It's soft. It was super soft, super soft. Probably the softest sand I've ever been in. This is also the first time I've ever driven my minivan to the beach, and I'm used to driving a Kia Soul, which is much lighter and much wider tires, and just in general easier to get out of this. So anyway, long story short, the lifeguards come by. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're stuck." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Thanks for that." They're like,
Get out.
You
Save a life.
they're like, "You need sand tow," and I'm like, "Cool." And so I'm like,
No, I only know undertow.
so anyway, they give me the card. I call the guy. He's like, "All right, I got a guy up the road, and he'll come out there." Dude comes up, super nice guy. Shout out to you. He helped me, pulls me out. It takes him a couple seconds. He gets his truck in there, had all the right tools, yanked me out, and everything like that. And so I'm talking to him, and dude, apparently this guy has a huge following on Instagram, like 137,000 subscribers.
Wow.
I went and watched a bunch of his videos. He has millions of views on each of his videos.
Pulling people out
Yeah,
like you.
yeah, like me. So
Are you on this week's episode?
he said about 3 to 4 days, 3 to 5 days, I'll be on there. So when we see it, I will definitely share it with all you guys.
Yeah, we got to tag it and put it on the here for
so
speed page.
I told him, I'm like, hey, you know, like, and super shout out, like he did me a solid and stuff like that, getting me out of there. And I remember my wife is like, "Oh, I hope this isn't going to be expensive." I'm like, "What choice do we have? We are stuck." I'm like, we are either going to sleep here or we have to call these people to get us out of here.
DJ the Nomad.
Did the
living
beach
on
throw a
beach.
caution?
It should have. And I told the guy, I'm like,
Red
man,
flag.
I'm like, I've grown up here all my life and I've never been stuck. I've had a couple moments where I'm like, oh no, I don't know what's going on, and I've been able to get out of it. This was by far the worst I've ever been stuck.
We got stuck at the beach once. In
Did
the
you?
RV?
Oh no.
You went to the beach in the RV?
No, at Daytona Beach.
Oh, yeah. No, we've done
Oh
that,
yeah, that's a different
After
story.
it rained for 3 days.
Yeah, that's fun.
Same thing. Went to pull out. It was just like,
Whoop.
straight
all
down.
all that weight.
Just mud.
Bro,
Stinky, nasty mud.
it didn't rain for 24 hours, and our campsite was still underwater.
Yeah.
Dang.
It was
Yeah,
it was
I
torrential
remember that
downpours for
one.
3 days.
So anyway, like I was saying, this guy does all kinds of YouTube videos of pulling people
What did
out.
he pull you out with? Tow truck?
He had a Tacoma, big giant tires.
Oh yeah,
huge like winch and everything. I mean, like all he needed was just as long as he was on the dry ground, all he needed was a good little pull. And once I got moving, obviously, then I'm good.
nice.
But man, yeah, he pulled me right out. Having a backup camera there was really nice because I could just watch the line get tight, and as soon as I saw it go tight, just hit it, and then just pulled right out. So yeah, super awesome.
You know how they pulled us out of Daytona?
Really?
Forklift.
Oh my god.
They didn't have a tow truck. They were just driving around in a forklift pulling people out because we were not the only ones completely buried.
A forklift.
At least we didn't have like one of
Pretty
those
much.
giant tour buses.
Mm,
There was a couple of them things, dude, buried to the frame. I was like, ooh, boy.
that's gonna be expensive.
Have fun with that.
Yeah.
No,
So,
Daytona's pulling everybody out for free.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That was
So shout out to Santo. If you ever in Daytona Beach and you get stuck, look up Santo. They're all over Instagram.
That's cool.
That was pretty sweet. So
Which beach? Which beach?
Daytona.
Yeah, nice.
So I found out the reason they got started was
You picking my mail by my vacation home?
you should have told me. I didn't know that.
Sorry.
Bernie Sanders over here with his vacation homes. Anyway, so no, he was telling me that the tow trucks were out there were charging like $200-$300, and I guess like for each pull. And so the county or whatever came in and was like, "Hey, can you just like be our designated beach guy and stuff like that?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." And he was telling me about his followers on Instagram and everything. I'm like, "Bro, before long, you're going to be able to do this for free." Like, because your following's growing so much.
But what do you think he gets? About $100 from the county to pull? Maybe 200?
Oh no, I had to pay.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I won't say how much, but again, he did me a solid. I'll tell him that.
That's on the Patreon account. That doesn't exist.
No,
keep
no.
trying to get this Patreon account. We're pretty open over here.
Yeah, that's true. No, but
I
super
don't know how
solid
much
that
more
they
we can be open.
he like I said, he pulled me. But again, it's like, what are you gonna do in that situation? Like,
Yeah.
you're stuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a super nice guy. It was funny. He goes, yeah, price depends on how nice you are when I show up. He's like, if you're a little bit more of a jerk, it's a little higher price.
I feel that.
Usually where a beer comes in handy. Hey man, you want a cold beer?
He's driving on the beach.
There's no laws on the beach.
Break it fast.
I don't know.
He records everything.
I don't know.
a personal
I have
problem.
I have a story about that on Daytona. I freaking
Oh,
oh yeah. I got
Just the
nailed.
way you said that. What?
I got put in handcuffs for having alcohol on the beach.
Oh,
Ooh,
Yeah.
bad boys.
And then I ended up getting a ticket. It was like a $50
Shame.
ticket. It was not, dude. They were
put
just
you in
going around.
handcuffs over a $50 ticket.
They were trying to make an example in front of all the other like college
That's the
kids
most
and stuff
Jeff
like. It was
thing I've
during
ever
it was
heard.
during Memorial Day weekend, like a couple years
How long
ago.
ago was this?
Like
a
2
couple
years
years
ago.
ago.
Like last
Maybe
week.
like last week.
no, it was like a couple of years ago. No, yeah, they were out there. They just skimmed the beach and they were like constantly coming up. I had like my can like covered and everything, and they were like, for reference, there's some beaches in Florida you can have it as long as it's not glass.
Yeah.
But it goes from beach to beach, even if it's on the same coast. Like Cocoa Beach and Daytona Beach have completely different rules.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And New Smyrna Beach has different rules too. New
Yeah.
Smyrna Beach is like one of the where I was at was at
They're pretty
one of the
strict
stricter
Yeah, they're
stricter
very
ones.
strict.
So I had it.
It's a
and
much older
the
community.
officer
They're very
came,
strict.
the sheriff came over. He's like, "What is that?" I was like, "Oh, beer." I should have told him because I thought it was legal as long as it wasn't glass.
No, yeah.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna need you to put your hands behind your back." I'm like, "Bro, what?" And so he ended up like putting me in the handcuffs. I ended up sitting in the back of like they had like a pickup truck. I sat on the bed of the pickup truck, just like sitting there, just waiting. He just was writing my ticket. I'm there dangling my legs, I'm just like whatever. And he comes and brings me my ticket. but he ended up giving me my ticket. and bro, so it was with just with a couple of friends I hadn't seen in a while, and one of our friends was still he didn't get like we all got pulled aside except for one of them, and one of them was like he looks at me, the sheriff, and he's like, "Do you have any more alcoholic beverages in the cooler?" And I just see my friend behind the officer like taking stuff out of the cooler and like throwing it away. And I just looked at the sheriff. I was like, no. I just don't know. I was like, not anymore.
funny.
But no, it was funny. But they're super strict about that stuff. So yeah, I ended up getting like a $50 ticket.
I guess
Not a
that's
big
not the end
deal.
of the world.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That is probably one of the most annoying things about Florida and like the beaches is like you don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
What you're
You
gonna
don't know because it's like I've been to the same situation where you go to a beach. It could be a private beach, and you just don't know it's
Yeah.
a private beach.
there
but-
is the worst part about that was because one of the people I was with, you guys would know who they are. I won't say their name here, but they were talking smack. They were talking smack to the officers, like, "Why'd you put him in handcuffs?"
I remember
We're
when
like,
DJ did that. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
"Why'd you put him in?
That was yesterday. That was crazy.
Why'd you put him in handcuffs?"
Why are you
over-
trying to pretend like
over
this wasn't yesterday?
No, I swear. But like, they were like, "Why you like put him in handcuffs over this? This is like not an arrestable offense." Blah 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 blah. And I'm like standing there,
Please
like,
leave me alone.
in handcuffs. I'm like, "Shut up!" Like,
It's fine. It's fine.
if they actually end up taking me to jail because of this, you're paying my bail. Like,
Yeah, right.
like you're coming to get me.
He was resisting
Well,
arrest.
Like I literally was just like, okay, whatever, not a big deal. Like,
That's funny.
I get it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why we go to the
They-
racetrack. Bring whatever you want, as long as it's not glass. Simple rules.
So anyway, so y'all
Simple
y'all
rules.
got to go to a racetrack. I had to basically get my car towed out of out of the beach.
That's fun.
Teach you to go to the beach.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the racetrack.
Shame.
My wife the whole
No.
time she's just like, "This is why I shouldn't have gone to the beach. And we shouldn't have gone." I'm like,
You need a truck,
I'm
DJ.
like, oh man, I could have. I know.
Yeah, a truck would solve all these issues.
Although the guy that came up, there was a guy that came up next to me that had a F-150,
Well, that's the
And-
problem.
maybe, but that guy didn't know how to
Started
drive
right
it
at the
either because
beginning.
he couldn't get in or out. I had to help him at one point to get out, and then
Did you not have 4-wheel drive?
he
Did
said
he
he
not have
not-
drive or
he-
reverse?
Here's his problem. One, he had traction control
You're gonna
on.
push it Flintstone style
He
everywhere.
had traction control on. Big mistakey. And if he did have 4-wheel drive, he never used it. Also, big mistakey.
Oh, okay. You said something that triggered something, and this is worth talking about. We watched the while we were waiting for the Xfinity race.
Oh my God, this was the
We
best.
watched the soapbox derbies.
The,
that's
yes,
hilarious.
Bro,
the Red Bull soapbox derbies and Junior and who was it? Was it Dave Moody?
No,
I thought it was
not Pete Pistone. Who's his? Oh my gosh.
Mike Davis. Anyway,
another
come to me.
the reason that I mentioned
Mike Bagley.
Mike Bagley, yes.
the reason that made me laugh is because you said Flintstones. But there's this one guy. There's like this. Matt and I were watching. It was before you showed
We're
up.
losing it.
There was
watching
this one guy who there's this one jump where you have to land in like the water thing and then go off the other side. So he jumps and he lands on the water and his wheels just totally obliterate off his car. And so we're just like, oh man, he's gonna be stuck. And then you just see him pick up the thing and his legs come out the bottom of the soapbox. He just starts running.
Yabba dabba do all the way to the checker line, and they're just like, it counts. Red Bull's like, it's fine.
But dude,
This is
so
so serious.
Then we started watching the Xfinity race. Or no, we didn't.
No,
it got rain.
it was
delayed.
rain delayed. So we were like,
So then after the Snowbox Derby and then the race got delayed, me and Jeff over there like, let's just watch the worst wipeouts of Soapbox Derby. We're sitting there the whole time like, oh,
dude, some of those
like
things
how
are
is
like,
his neck not broken?
dude, some of these are like rough.
Yeah,
Like,
there was a couple of like you saw like he just ate a steering wheel to the ribs at about 25 miles an hour. He's definitely hurting.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
bad.
I saw
Oh,
one
yeah.
where he was in the back seat and he flipped up and he went airborne and came down and landed right on the back of his
Yes.
shoulder blade. I was
the
like,
dude on the drum set.
I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
the dude
Yeah,
from
the
Set.
drum
I was
set
like,
guy.
oh, he definitely.
Anyways,
he's too
y'all
old
should
to be doing that.
absolutely go
Look that
watch Snowball Derby crashes.
Yeah.
Robert said he bought more diecast. Big surprise.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Tell us what we don't do. That's not in the NAS news section.
Yeah, Robert, I'll let you know. I've got one coming. You're the only one that might have really appreciate this. It's one of 24.
Bro,
Beer was in his pants.
Yeah, but
I'm still upset that I haven't got my Ross Chastain win from Kansas. We're coming on a year
I
now.
think you're the only one who bought it. They're
Like it's
what?
like I checked the status because like if they don't get enough, sometimes they just won't make them and it'll just be canceled or whatever.
Oh, that's
But it
sad.
just says pending,
All right.
still pending.
Which one? Where'd you buy it from though? Was it?
Lionel, pre-order,
Okay.
elite.
Then it should. You would think it'd be fine.
Yeah, I want to take it this weekend. Get it signed.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that.
How many
Never
diecasts
did
do they
see
owe you?
Ross. One,
Just
two,
this
that one? Two?
two.
Oh, there's two.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Coke 600 win.
Oh, well,
yeah.
that one's that's
Yeah.
still fairly recent.
Yeah, you
So.
can get that in a year.
Y'all ready for Chicago next week?
Yeah. It'd be a
Ready
lot
for
of
a
fun.
road course.
We got Xfinity and Cup.
I hope it rains.
We're
I don't
so
know what this
far-
track looks like without rain. That'll be the shocking thing. If it doesn't rain, like, oh man, this is a new race now. Like,
Great. Joey Logano's gonna win.
stop.
It's an-
What
No.
is like my Larson?
Who won this?
Kansas
Who won
Closet
this last year?
finish.
Bowman,
You'll have to
right?
pay attention. I'll post it somewhere.
Bowman
Bowman
won
won it.
this last year, right?
Yeah.
Bowman
Yeah.
did. Yep.
And Reddick was on the hunt until he hit the wall.
Bowman needs a win. So
Yeah,
So does
he
Reddick.
almost got it yesterday. Well, to what? 12 winners now?
Yes. 12
Four
winners.
spots left with still got quite a
What,
few.
I think it was
races?
last week I said
8
we're going to have
races?
3 more. I think we'll have 3 more, or probably 2 more wins.
We got 2 more road courses.
Yep.
We got Daytona.
Yep.
Any other? I think that's the only wild
Richmond.
cards we
Those
have
are the
left, right? Austin
Dover.
Dillon.
Dylan.
I think we could get to 15 pretty easy.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think it'd be that difficult. Yeah.
yeah,
Could be
Well, we'll
crazy.
see.
Could be nobody getting in on points, but maybe 1 or 2 people.
Could be no one.
Could be no one.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it could also be everyone.
Anyways, big stuff coming in the future. Not gonna tell you now. We'll tell you later. But stay tuned.
Yep, definitely make sure you guys like and share on all the social platforms, X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you haven't already joined the Here for the Speed Discord, it's a community of fans by fans. And we're dropping all kinds of content. So you'll probably see a bunch of stuff this week in the coming weeks from Atlanta. Did you have something you wanted to?
Yeah, I will say, tune in next week because we've been delaying this for too long, and I'm saying it live, so we have to. There will be a story about Matt and a snake next week.
Now.
If you don't
will
tell
not-
it, I will.
We will not talk about this.
All right. See you guys next week.
All right.
Take it easy.
See ya.